my friends are simps.
For today's video, I've got something a wee bit different in the sense that I'm not going to be primarily making music with or talking about synthesizers. But me and my friend Keith have been making music together for a long time. We play in a band called Closet Organ, and we've done various musical things together since we were in high school, and we've been talking for a while about doing something a bit different together outside of the usual kind of grungy stuff that we put together as a band. So this week the band rehearsal was off for various reasons, and so we decided to take the chance to kind of try and work on something a bit different and see what we come up with. The plan for this is that I'm going to write something on bass. I usually play guitar in the band that we play together in, so that'll be a bit of a change. But I'm going to record some bass lines first on my bass in the house, and then we're going to go to our studio. Keith's going to put some drums on the track, and then we're going to see where we go from there. Keith also plays guitar, so he's probably going to add some guitar stuff on top, and I suspect I'll add on some synthy bits, and then vocals, and then fuck everything up in Logic. But for now, I'm going to record some bass. I've got my Burns bass here. It's not my first choice bass, but it's the bass I've got in the house. I'm also going to be using the Line 6 HX Stomp, which is going to be my kind of tone. It is a digital effects pedal, and I never thought I would see the day that I was using a digital kind of box for guitar and bass sounds, but this one's actually really good. With that said, whatever I come up with, I may well re-record the bass in the studio at a later point, because I've got a rusty box and I would like to record straight through my amp and get you know, that very particular sound that you get from the rusty box. So we'll see how that goes. I'm not going to even try and tell you how long it took me, but I'm confident, kind of, that at least now I've got something which isn't complete shite. I had a real trouble trying to come up with a bass line that was interesting enough, and I think part of the reason was that I was writing to a straight click, and whilst recording a click isn't a big deal, the band do that all the time, and we do it so that we can go in later, especially in the demo stages, and move things around within a song composition quite easily, or, you know, to sync electronics. Whilst that's easy enough or straightforward enough, writing to a straight click is a whole different ballgame. It's not the most inspirational way of working, and to me it kind of becomes like Captain Hook with that crocodile and the constant bloody ticking of the metronome in your ear, drowning out everything else. The way I prefer to write bass lines is to take an interesting drum loop and then play along to that, and it gives you some kind of beginning to move forward with. But the problem with doing that is that there's a natural swing to these drum loops, or there's often a swing to the drum loops that are interesting, and so whilst that's fine to record to in isolation, when you go back later and try and add in acoustic drums, it isn't quite as easy to match everything up, and it's been a bit of a hassle at times in the past. So this time I thought I would bypass all of those problems, just write straight to a click, but apparently, you know, it's impossible. So I gave in and I created a drum beat using Logic's drummer so that it would really be bang on with the clock, because I knew there would be no swing, you know. But Logic's drummer has its own problems. There's issues with latency and all that crap. But anyway, either way, fuck it, I got there. Now all we have to do is go into the studio and see what Keith can come up with on drums and what other stuff we're going to add. Hello Keith.
Hello.
You ready to make music history, Keith?
Yes.
What are we going to do?
We are going to make a song pretty much in a night.
What are we doing right now?
We're pretending that you've just arrived, even though all your stuff's here.
Fuck off! Keith is going to record guitar now. Keith, where's your guitar?
Yeah.
What guitar are you using?
The Tom DeLonge signature Epiphone.
Cool. We're going to use this Trace Elliott, what's this called again? Veloset? A valve thing. It's going into this 4x12 old stack thing. I've got the ghetto miking technique, hanging it by a cord, and the microphone is a Marshall. No, what the fuck is this? This is a rip-off of like an expensive microphone. It's a Superlux. So we're having one mic like that. That's our guitar mic technique. You can tell by now that this song is definitely not a Jesus Lizard ripoff in any way. If it is, you can sue him over there. I should explain how we're doing this probably, because since none of us can play in time properly for a full song, we're doing it in sections. And the excuse is that that's so that we can loop things easier. And that is a good excuse, but you can see here we've got our loops. So the bass is all in loops because I can't play in time. And then we've got the fake drummer here. And then we've got our different guitar bits. And now we're going to record some drums, I think. We have discovered that this very expensive headphone amp no longer works. So it's going to the fucking the great thing in the sky. And we'll have to get a new one. Luckily we've got rack space in here, which is crying out for a ridiculously oversized headphone amp. So, aye, drums. Fucked it up again. What's the verdict?
I think it's going to be good. It's all down to Stephen. The pressure is on for Stephen Blythe. If he can sing like an angel, it's all going to be good. No pressure.
So that was a productive evening. We've got the bass, guitar and drums down. Now I just have to come up with some vocals and a vocal melody, which is by far the hardest part for me. After that, I'm going to add in some synthesizers and electronic things to make it a bit more interesting and fill out the sound a bit in the places that require it. I am on holiday for the next few days, away from Glasgow, so I won't be able to do it for a bit, but I'll pick up once that's done. Yo, do you like my straight hair? I get sick of having curly hair, so I thought I'd have a laugh and straighten it. That gives you an idea of how long it's been since I started recording this video. In reality, it's been a couple of weeks. I went away on holiday, and I think it's good when you're doing a song like this to let it kind of gestate a wee bit, so that you don't just do the first thing that comes to mind. Sometimes that can be good, but sometimes it's better to take it away and listen to it before you do vocals, especially because for me, doing vocals, or at least writing lyrics, is one of the hardest things, because it's one of the most... sorry, I've got to have vocals on my mouth, which was a bad idea. By doing vocals, there's always a struggle. I find it difficult to get lyrics that I'm really pleased with unless I spend a lot of time on them, and sometimes, you know, that's counterproductive. But As you can see in the last clip, I have added some synthesizers in. I didn't add a whole amount because the nature of the song is quite bass heavy or bass led, bass and drums led really. And I didn't want to take away from that or just fill it up with frequencies. So I kind of just added a wee bit in the MS-20 Mini, gave it some swoops and filters, sweeps and stuff like that. And now I'm recording some vocals. Me and Keith and the other guys in the band have got a shared kind of list of titles and stuff that we think is funny, or just random ideas for song concepts or whatever to inspire us. And I've looked through that, I had a bit of trouble, but I found one which was like a phrase that we said at some point: give it a lick and join me, brother, which was in reference to something during the pandemic about, well, fuck it, let's just all lick this random can or something and catch it and get it over and done with. Total piss take, obviously, but I've taken that and I've run with it, and I'm going to use that as the basis of the lyrics. The way I write the lyrics is usually, I find it easiest to write stuff when I'm at the computer and I can play the loop over and over again, record a wee bit and hear how it sounds, and know my limits in terms of vocal range, because often you can hear something in your head and kind of write a song, but if you're not actually singing it, then you don't know whether or not you can hit that range, or at least I don't, because I'm not necessarily the best vocalist in the world. But anyway, I'm going to record the vocals, and then I think that might be this. I don't know, I'll need to speak to Keith and see what he thinks. Give this a lick and join me, brother! That is vocals done. I've done 3 takes. I probably won't use all the 3 takes, but I'll blend them in together because I feel like the double, triple tracking thing is quite a good sound for what I want to do anyway. What I'm now going to do, I think, is run my vocals through this beautiful thing, which is a Chaos Pad. It's the old KP3. It's a bit dusty at the moment, but I'll basically reamp the vocals and run them out from my interface into the KP3 because it's got quite a playable glitch effect, and I want to glitch up the vocals in a few places to kind of give a delay and whatever. I could do it in plugins and stuff, but I don't really like using plugins in that way where you just want to interject in bits because I can't be arsed automating things. So that's what I'm going to do, and then I don't know. Actually, I guess I could tell you a wee bit about the Chaos Pad setup because it might be interesting to somebody. The Chaos Pad's down here. Nice touch screen effects, even though it's a wee bit dusty, and I've gone cross-eyed trying to look at the screen. But it's a wee bit annoying because it's only got RCA in and out. So what you need is a whole bunch of adapters if you want to run jack outputs, and that's not a huge deal, but it's a bit of a pain. Luckily I've got one of these cables which has got 2 ends, and I've got adapters for my RCA cable to go back into my interface. But the other thing is, because it's stereo input, if you have a mono signal like the vocals are, I'm only going to use one of the vocal takes to glitch, then you'll want to double it up. So in Logic I've got it set up so that, there's no point showing you that, but I've got it set up so that the same signal, so the same single mono vocal track has been sent to 2 outputs on the interface, and then that's going into Chaos Pad and then going back into the interface. So we'll see how that works. The last attack, climate to fear. Who knows what's real is so unclear. Give this a lick. Give this a lick. Hey, brother. That's the track coming along nicely now. I've sent it over to Keith and he seems to like the vocals. So what I'm going to do now to finish things off, I think, is add in a wee bit of guitar just in the kind of heavier bits to give it a wee bit of a lift, because at the moment there's not quite enough of a boost and I don't want to just boost the volume or whatever. So I'll add in a wee bit of guitar just in the background, and then I have to kind of just edit out or adjust the glitchy vocals, because in some places it's a bit too much, and I want to just make it sound a wee bit better. So going to do that. Then the final plan for this track, I think, is obviously mix and master it, but then I guess we're just going to do a video. I'll upload the video separately because this one is particularly long. So if you want to watch it, then click on the link above or down below and let me know what you think. But there's a glimpse into kind of the songwriting or music production process for these kind of bandy collaboration things, and I don't know, maybe that's interesting, maybe not, but fuck it, go listen to the music anyway. Goodbye.